A Caucasian woman took to Threads to talk about her first experience protesting, and one of her drawbacks, some feedback she had, was there should have been a bouncy house or a play area for the children because her children got bored very quickly. So she thinks moving forward, protests should have that.
Hey guys, it's your girl Cindy. Welcome back again to another video. How are you all doing? I trust you guys are having a good time today. If you are new here, hi. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So still on the protest, because I told you I'm going to bring more videos to you. Now today I want us to see videos from the Black community reacting to the April 5th hands-off protest. People are still making videos, especially the Black community, which I have put these videos together. I just want us to hear from them because my last video, I brought to you videos from the white community reacting to the protest. Stay with me, guys, because I feel that we need to hear from, the Black community because majority of them did not participate, in the protests. Now, in my last video, a Black content creator mentioned that there was no police arrest, there was no harassment from the police because, of course, the protesters were mainly white people. And that should tell you what you need to know. And from some comments that I read and some videos that I saw before the April 5th from white people, some of them in the comment section saying that it's going to be their first protest, some of them asking for tips, advice, and all of that. That should tell you what you need to know. We all saw the videos. You could tell their age brackets. Now, I saw this video on TikTok. Obviously, this is from, white people from the UK standing in solidarity, like standing up for the Americans. Check out this video right here.
Hands off immigration, hands off immigration, hands off sovereign nations, Mr. Trump. Hands off education, hands off immigration, hands off sovereign nations, Mr. Trump.
You can see the comments I grabbed from the comment section of the video all the way from the United Kingdom. And these comments right here are from the Americans. You can please pause to read. Bear with me because I have put together a few videos from Black content creators. Let's just hear what they're saying. And of course, I'm going to show you some screenshots of comments. You all know how we do it here. Check these videos out.
If you don't know, there was protests all over the country this week to, protest the Trump administration. And I don't even think these people realize how much privilege they have in protesting. So a Caucasian woman took to Threads to talk about her first experience protesting, and one of her drawbacks, some feedback she had, was there should have been a bouncy house or a play area for the children because her children got bored very quickly.
What?
So she thinks moving forward, protests should have that. And this just solidifies my decision not to participate in anything moving forward. I am a part of the 92% because is this a protest or a parade? Like, to go to a protest and complain that it was not child friendly when people are literally out there protesting human rights. Like, there's so much privilege that these people have. Like, when Black people went to protest, for Black Lives Matter, to protest police brutality, we had to mentally prepare ourselves that the police may not be nice to us. They might try to pepper spray us. They might try to arrest us, even when we're being peaceful. That's things that Black children had to be taught. A lot of Black people left their children at home because they knew that it would not be a safe space. And you have the privilege to bring your child and you're going to complain that it was not kid-friendly, a protest, a freaking protest. And of course, white woman tears, now she's complaining that people are being mean to her for telling her about herself. And there's a white man on there who is now attacking Black women. Any Black woman that has posted, correcting this woman, he's in their replies, berating them. And this is what we have to deal with. And this is why we said we're sitting out.
Okay, so a bouncy house, a play area for your kids. Baby, that was not a birthday party. That was not a get-together party. That was not a parade. It was a protest. And I do not think that it is child friendly. I'm going to show you a few videos that reacted to what the Caucasian woman said about not providing a bouncy house play area for kids. Please check the videos out.
To see that lady talking about how they need more child-friendly activities at protests is telling. It's very telling. Because I remember back in 2020, them protests, when it was a black cause, majority black folks out there protesting. This was Raleigh, North Carolina. I remember the tanks and the snipers being in position before we even got outside. You see what I'm saying? And now, there's no rubber bullets flying around. There's no fear of somebody getting shot. There's no fear of tear gas and getting arrested for peacefully protesting. It's clear to see the difference in how the police is aggressive with black protests. You see what I'm saying? And this is why this time around you had black folks like myself included, saying, nah, black folks, stay at home. It's not our fight. I mean, it's our fight, but stay at home. Let's sit back. Let's let them carry the weight this time. Because I feared for our safety based on the 2020 protests. But apparently, white folks can get out there and they feel so safe and there's no danger to the point where they think they need a bouncy house, a merry-go-round, and some slides for the kids. I don't know, man. I don't know. But this is why I say I agree with protesting with your attention and your dollar. Obviously, do what you want, do what you think is necessary. I just want us to be safe at the end of the day.
Hey, white people. So I just heard some news that I know cannot possibly be real. Did y'all have them damn bouncy houses at the walkathons? Y'all brought y'all kids to something y'all thought y'all was going to save democracy. See, I knew y'all was playing games. I knew y'all was playing games, but I didn't know y'all was playing games like this. I ain't know y'all had took it this far. Y'all just all the way lost. Y'all is more lost. I mean, I knew y'all was lost, but god damn, I ain't know y'all was lost to where y'all bringing kids and asking for bouncy houses. Y'all are so unserious. And that's why y'all going down if y'all don't apologize to black people and try to get some smart friends on y'all side.
Okay, let's talk protest. It's not a hot take as much as it's something that a lot of you haven't learned yet, for whatever reason that may be, that protests are not for everyone, especially when there are multiple different forms of protest that are created to fit the needs of you as an individual. Socially speaking, not everyone is capable of rallying, standing on the side of the street for 8 to 10 hours at a time, just holding up a sign. There are some people who are not capable of doing that. So we develop different forms of protests, example being boycotting, as a way of driving in the message that your physical protest is supposed to be spreading. Understanding that you live in a capitalist society is fundamental with any form of protest, because what is your protest really doing? Why are you standing on the side of the road holding up a sign? Because we as capitalists are addicted to advertising. That's kind of the point of signs. If you think about what protesting was like back in the 60s and the 70s, it was very different because it was less about the advertising of it all, and it was more about the societal standards that they were trying to dismantle. You can take that even further to the civil rights movement of like the 30s and the 40s, and how that was also much more social, but in a different way than the hippie movement. All this to say that there is never a reason for you to be broadcasting your contribution to a protest, especially because that is very dangerous, to say, hey, I am trying to attack the system that upholds the rich. And it's never, under any circumstances, okay to take your children to a protest. At all. Never. That is never okay. And it's less about exposing your children to something that is dangerous, and it's more about the fact of like the people who are there at a physical version of a protest are supposed to have an understanding of what's going on. Hate to break it to you, but your 8, 10, 12, 14-year-old really doesn't have a really good understanding of what's going on. Even I, as a 14-year-old who was arrogant and big-headed, thought I had an understanding of what protests really meant, but now, as an adult, I can say, oh shit, I was definitely misguided. And not ill-intended, I definitely had my heart in the right place, but I didn't know what was really going on. I didn't understand how protests actually was supposed to be affecting society because I was young. There's nothing more to the fact that I'm just inexperienced. So putting the danger aside, because you are putting your children in danger by being like, why don't we have bouncy houses at protest? That's dangerous, but there's also the fact that like a child is not going to contribute to the protest, especially by your statement being, oh, but I want to have a bouncy house so they have something to do while we do the protest. Then they should not be there. And if your counter argument is, well, I'm a single mother and I don't have somebody to watch my kids, then don't do the physical protest and participate in boycotts.
Why is there no coverage of the protests that took place on April 5th? There were protests that were taking place in all 50 states of the United States of America. All 50 states. Yet there was no coverage. We saw people going live. They were on Instagram Live, Facebook Live, TikTok Live, showing that the protests were happening. They indeed were happening. But why is there no media coverage on those protests? In the lives that I was seeing, that I was streaming, I saw that there were a lot of people out there. And surprise, surprise, there were a lot of white people and a lot of vets. Right? And not only was I paying attention to who was in the crowd, I was paying attention to the police officers, to law enforcement, where they were, what they were doing, how did they look, how they were behaving, because I've witnessed, I've been a part of several protests, especially during the Black Lives Matter, and I know what law enforcement was looking like when it was you understand, those type of protests back in 2020. So I was looking out in the videos, in the streams, looking to spot law enforcement, to see the barricades, to see law enforcement in fucking bulletproof vests with K9 dogs and batons and forcing and huddling everybody in one corner. I was looking out for that. But I didn't see it. I didn't see any of it. I didn't see any of the treatment that would have been out there, that we would have seen had a lot of Black people been out there protesting alongside those white people and those veterans. And that leads me into my next point. The reason why there was no media coverage showing all of these protests that were happening simultaneously in all 50 states was because it would have to showcase that it was all white people, old people, veterans that were fighting, literally saying that Trump is ruining this country. See, they're not going to listen to me and you, Black, brown, you understand, when we say that Trump is literally ruining this country. This administration is going to ruin this country. But if they see Mima and Papa, you understand? They see their grandma, they see their veterans, their vets, their uncles, grandfathers, whoever, out there literally saying, I am a recovered MAGA supporter. Please do not support MAGA. If they were to see that in all 50 states, white people would have to think more. They would have to think more. And open up their minds and get woke, the very thing that they don't want them to do. But y'all do know for a fact that if it was Black people that was out there alongside with them, that's the crazy thing about it. Even if they were there, like some of them were there as allies during the Black Lives Matter protests, even if they were there, as soon as we were alongside them, best believe best believe law enforcement would have been out there in full force. They would have been out there in full force. And best believe sometime during this week, we would have gotten some announcement of martial law being enacted. I just wanted to put that out there. So for all the people who is like, why weren't black people protesting? It was out of safety, and it's because we knew. We knew if we wasn't there, that it would actually be a peaceful protest. And it's not even to say that they were peaceful. If you were listening to some of the shit that these people were saying, they was rowdy, okay? But they still was met with respect. The type of respect that black people would have never been given. We've never been given that opportunity. We've never been given that privilege. And this is why we as black people have to figure out another way to boycott and another way to protest. Because going out there in the streets is literally a death wish.
Okay, so I'm glad that the black community and the brown community was clocking tea about how the protest went on April 5th. And while I am proud of the protest, the same thing I said on live this morning is what I'm saying today. There was a method and a strategy there. Most people is going to go over their head because we're getting caught up in the hype about how many people showed up to the protest on April 5th and not actually paying attention to the fact that not only was the government not there, but the Zionists weren't there as well. Now, what I'm going to say is probably going to ruffle a few feathers, but guess what? I don't give a fuck because I need to make a point and I need y'all to calm down and get your pennies out of a wad and just hear us out. The reason why we didn't show up is because we were tired, yes. But one of the main reasons why I also found this to be beneficial was because we needed to see how this environment would be, right? If we had showed up, they would have 110% showed up and got violent with y'all. We don't need a reminder of how 2020 went during the Black Lives Matter protests, okay? We know how that went. However, the fact that there was no government officials there was nobody trying to throw hands, there was nobody trying to interfere with the protest, again, that does not take away from the message itself or the success of said protest. Because I'm happy that over 600,000 people showed up. However, what we're not going to do is pretend like we didn't see what we saw over the past year and a half happen to them college students on them campuses in New York, on the highways in California, in several different institutions and in several public places. We are not going to pretend like we didn't watch them bat the fuck out of them students over the side of the head, pay people to attack these students and sick dogs on them, hoses and all this shit, right? So knowing that, ask yourself, why would all of a sudden would they not show up? I don't get it. They showed up during Black Lives Matter movement. They showed up for the Mexican protests. Again, they weren't anywhere near as lethal or violent as they were with Black Lives Matter, but the protests with the Mexicans out in the street, they showed up during that. They showed up during our encampments. Why wouldn't they show up today when there's more people here than there was in the past two movements? I'm just confused. That's what you should be asking yourself. It is a strategy to open up the conversation and get us to fight each other and cause further division. It's divide and conquer. Bottom line. Bottom line. Now, the conversation surrounding this, I suggest if y'all don't want to get into a place where we are at each other's throats, which I'm not going to be at nobody's throats, because like I said, I still support Palestine through and through. However, I need y'all to pay attention to the way our government operates, because it is indeed methodical and strategic. They don't give a damn about your movement. They don't give a damn about your protesting or anything like that. They needed to make sure that they sent a message and continue to divide and conquer. That was strategic. That was a chess move, and I guarantee you they're sitting back and waiting, counting the moments, the hours. Sorry, I'm cooking while I'm talking. The moments and the hours until we are at each other's throats. Because guess what? If we fighting each other, they got more time to focus on what the hell they doing. And I can guarantee you, with the information that I found about what's going on with the El Salvadorian man and being able to trace the people that caused it to happen all the way back to Israel, it ain't nothing good. I need you to wake up. I need you to pay attention, okay? I need you to pay close attention, because the message was not lost. Again, black people didn't show up. So the message was loud and clear. It rang around the globe. It was front and center, and I am happy that it did so well. However, Pay attention, because it's given very much. I'm going to let y'all fight it out and take each other out the game. That's what it's given. That's exactly what like they're looking for a reaction out of the black community so that it can literally be everybody else against us. When we choose to stand up and say, wait a minute, you haven't been this lethal with anybody except us. And they're going to try to market it. They're going to pay people to infiltrate those conversations that are going to market themselves as Palestinian or brown, that'll basically start a conversation and conflict saying that we just hating on y'all, when in reality, we're just trying to show you, pay attention. Pay attention. Ask yourself them questions and then go back and look at that situation again. Pay attention. It is a divide and conquer tactic. I promise you they don't care. They purposely did not show up. You mean to tell me that both the government and them racist ass Zionists were busy on the same day? Man, please.
April 5th, there were thousands of protests all over the United States. And I saw videos of them all over the internet all day yesterday and today. They were anywhere from a few hundred to tens of thousands of people at these protests. You know who didn't show up? Were people from the black and brown community. You know who else didn't show up? Cops. I didn't see any cops in any of these videos. That is living proof that institutionalized racism is strong and powerful in the United States of America. The system was written for white people. April 5th, with all the protests, is all the proof and evidence any of these deniers need to see. The only time cops will show up to events are if people from the black and brown community show up.
Y'all white people are not going to get no applause from me regarding your performative cardio yesterday, okay? Okay. Why? Because the only reason you were out there is because your grocery bills are about to get higher, okay? You could care less about racism, okay? And you want to know how I know? You want to know how I know? Well, here we go. Because this morning I asked for your post-March action plan. I threw that on Threads. And what did y'all come back with? Oh, you're condescending us. Condescending you? Do y'all even know what an action plan is? You're mediocre. You probably don't. Okay? But what did your march do? What did it do? What was the outcome? What was your goal? I can answer that for you. Your goal is to make sure that y'all return to the status quo, right? The status quo that was benefiting you, right? You voted for Trump because of his anti-blackness. You were ready for our community to suffer, but not yours. So now you're out there marching, and then after you have the caucasity to look for praise. Are you good? Praise for what? Praise for what? Doing what you should have already been doing? And this march meant so much that y'all white women log into social media the next day and start harassing black women because we're calling you out for your performance? Please, y'all will never change. Y'all are phony and self-serving. Period.
After seeing the protests yesterday, which I really thought they were like marathons because like the police was setting a barricade so they could walk safely through, it just clicked to me that protesting is not a black sport. No, it's not a black sport. And this was a huge turnout. But the police, there was no aggressive police presence. There was no canines. There was no riot gear. There was no batons. There was no reporters being thrown to the ground. Like, bro, protesting is not a black sport. If you black, stay out them streets because it's not worth it. Y'all know like the famous police stands when they all line up shoulder to shoulder and they're like confrontational and stand in front of you. That wasn't even going on. It was like a senior citizen day out or like a community walk. Tell me this, why did the police harass a dog in a toy Tesla truck? A Tesla toy truck. They harassed a dog. The dog got more police action than the walkathon that happened yesterday.
I almost got caught up in one of these April 5th protests. It was by accident.
Got caught up in a protest. So it doesn't. Lord have mercy. I'm just walking downtown Dallas. I start seeing folk with signs that say, they signs. I'm gonna tell you, you're messing on senior citizens. You may mess with a whole lot of folks, but senior citizens, they ain't scared. I'm telling you. The average person that I didn't see down here was they working on the street. Okay, listen, this man here, he look like he's 70 years old. He got on his military. Yeah, baby, he said, I ain't coming to play. You trying to take away his veteran benefits? He's still the same size. He got on his jacket. Oh, they coming in. And I'm coming out. They coming in and I'm going out. Look at. Oh, they coming in. Look, they coming in. Maybe they got their signs. They coming in. They coming in, I'm going out. They about to set this thing off. And I'm about to set it off at the house. I'm going to get my cell phone up out of here. Now, again, I'm not in the news. I'm just reporting. Oh, they coming in. Oh, baby, they say it's starting at 3 o'clock. But they got their signs. They got their shirts on. Uh-oh, let me see your sign. Uh-oh, what you coming down here to do?
Protest.
Protest and let them know you don't want to see all this.
That's right.
You want to change.
That is correct.
All right, well, appreciate you being out here.
Moratorium on morons.
Ah, I love it. Look at this little side. He didn't made his own side, and I love it. He didn't made his own side. I told you, all I'm doing is reporting. Ain't part of it. Come on back for news you can use.
I took some screenshots of comments randomly so you guys can see, what people dropped in the comment section. Please pause to read these comments if you want to, but I'm going to read out some for you. So I read a comment from a white man saying that the protest was peaceful because Black people did not participate. If they had come out for the protest, they would have caused a lot of troubles and then the police would intervene. How could he say that? I saw a video of a white woman talking on the stage, and this white man walked up to her and her. I'm gonna tag the page in the comment section. You can please, watch the video, but because I don't think it's allowed here. So what do we call that? I do not support that, in my own opinion. How could you do that? So I'm making this video for you all to know the reasons why Black people did not participate. Like, how could he say that they would have caused more problems, more troubles? How could he? Obviously, this is the way some white people see Black people. Now, I did a video here some time ago. A white man was outside, seated outside in front of his house, and he saw a group of young Black guys, on the street playing football and, laughing, being happy. This white man rang the police and informed the police that they were making troubles and all of that. The police really came. And then they saw this group of Black young boys playing, like being happy. They literally joined them playing football. Just as some of you could not stand, guys, I don't know, because it is exhausting. Anyways, you guys, I just thought to make this video, of course, for you all to hear from, Black people. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. And of course, I'm going to see you in my next video. Do not forget to like this video, share, come back for another one. You all take care and have a lovely day. I'm sorry I couldn't read out some comments for you, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.